I'm Chief Warrant Officer 4 Vic Pinion, U.S. Navy, retired, telling some sea stories from my naval career. This one is about air in the hydraulic system, air in the hydraulic fluid that would cause the machines to malfunction. Now, that's a common problem. You have to vent the air out of the systems. But with the catapults, you had some long pilot air pressure piping, small pipes that went long distances, up along the overhead and so forth, and around bulkheads and so forth. Well, the high points of those pipes would generally have vent valves in them, where you could open the vent valve and vent out the air so that the thing would work properly. Well, I'm telling two specific things. And the reason I'm telling these is that people, the crew, the catapult crew, would be tasked with knowing where all of these vent valves were and to vent the systems as part of their pre-operational check and during the course of the day as the situation dictated. Well, the air in the piping causes some problems, like on the number 2 catapult on the Ranger. We came out of the shipyard after an overhaul period, and although the other 3 catapults, when the deckage operator would hit the bridle tensioner push button, in other words, you're going to tension the bridle out, hooking the airplane to the catapult, the bridle tensioner would immediately start moving forward, a long piston, hydraulic piston that would push on the back of the shuttle and tighten up the bridle, connecting the airplane to the catapult. Except on cat number 2. Cat number 2, from the time you push that push button, that bridle tensioner would not start coming out for about 20 seconds. So you're sitting there with the engine of this jet aircraft roaring for 20 seconds before bridle tension is taken. That's a long time for every aircraft on that particular catapult. We troubleshot that thing, it. We had civilian tech reps come aboard and troubleshoot it. Nobody could figure out what the heck the cause of this was. Until one day, about, many months, we've been operating like that. And maybe I'm bragging, I don't know. Well, maybe I'm apologizing for letting it go so long. But I figure there's got to be a high point in this line somewhere that air is trapped in there and is not being vented out. So I traced the line, every inch of it, and there was one place in the overhead of the retraction engine room where that pipe disappeared over the top of a vent duct that completely filled the space in between the I-beams. And I figured there's got to be a vent up there. There just has to be. The only possible way of finding it is to literally cut that air vent and remove it so that I can see. I don't have proof that there's a vent up there, or if there's not one, we need to put one there, I'm believing. So we cut that section of vent duct out. Lo and behold, there was a vent valve up there. I vented it, and the problem is forever solved. But I also relocated, I put copper tubing onto the discharge of that vent, and run it down and put another vent valve so that we could vent that. And reinstalled the air vent. That's the end of Cat 2's problems. It's over. But we suffered with that for a long, long time. I don't know how long the ship had had that problem, but certainly a long, long time. Anyway, but we didn't have it again ever after. The other one is the bridle arresters. The Mark II bridle arresters were problem prone. And a little bit of error in their system caused lots of problems. When we'd come out of the shipyard, matter of fact, we'd come out of the shipyard and we were sitting across the pier from the USS Enterprise. And we were shooting a bridle arrestor calibration no-load program on cat number 4. Well, we'd fired the program on the other 3 cats. Now we're shooting on cat 4. And cat 4's bridle arrestor trap just kept zinging right on out. Destroyed the bridle arrestor. We had to rebuild it and so forth, put a new strap on and all this. But kind of a humorous factor was the Enterprise's cat crew had been standing in the catwalk or on the edge of the flight deck watching us. And when we lost that bridle arrestor strap, they cheered and come up with a great big old 4x8 sheet of plywood with "Go Cat 4" spray painted on it. Well, okay. We played with it, invented it, played with it, got tech reps and so forth, but the Naval Air Engineering Center had come out with this test program to calibrate the whole fleet had been experiencing problems with their bridle arresters. And the ship's crew was to shoot these programs. Well, as a result of us losing that bridle arrestor strap, and we did everything we possibly could. There was a CAFSU rep, a civilian tech rep, who was well experienced, there watching us shoot this program. He was there, right there on the scene. He didn't know what the problem was. We invented and revented. Well, he called the Naval Air Engineering Center and told them about it. They said, well, go ahead, find the pressures that will work, because each one is individually calibrated and calibrated for those pressures. We did that. Well, it was erratic. But they certified the bridle arrestor. The Naval Air Engineering Center certified the bridle arrestor. But they put a service bulletin out that required all of these tests to be supervised by CAFSU reps in the future. That annoyed the hell out of me, because there was a CAFSU rep on scene for this, and we still had the problem. So CAFSU rep wasn't a solution to the problem, but I went on myself and figured, just like on Cat 2 with the bridle tensioner, there's got to be a vent valve somewhere. Well, the piping that went to the deck edge station from the machine below decks was lengthy, and it went into an ordnance restricted area, ordnance space that was kept locked all the time. It went through, I could see the pipe going on overhead, went through the overhead into that space. I can't get into that space. And I could see where it come out the other side. It's a whole big room. So I went to the ordnance department and told them I need to get into that space. Oh, you got to have security clearance to get in there. I said, well, I've got machinery in there I need to service. Well, they escorted me into the space, and I discovered up there on overhead, in plain sight, a vent valve. I vented it. Problem solved. But now the problem's not really solved, because we'd vented it. Now we've got to reshoot the program and establish a new set of norms for that bridle arrestor. Guess what? The same CAFSU rep supervised us reshooting the program, and the bridle arrestor was recertified. End of that story.